we saw Devin Booker at the Lions game, and then we saw him, and I think he was repping. Was he on the bench? Right, he was
Yeah,
wearing. I
yeah.
know KD was wearing a hat too.
He had
Um,
a D hat with the Cabrera jersey on.
yeah. So I was listening to another podcast about like I believe he's a free agent after this year, and then he's probably going to sign the extension like Bradley Beal did and get paid, and
Yeah.
then probably request a trade because the Phoenix Suns. I'm not a believer in the Phoenix Suns. I think this roster is not put together well. They don't have a true point guard. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant just screams Brooklyn Nets 2.0 to me. I mean, they moved out from DeAndre Ayton for Yusuf Nurkic. I don't know if that's an upgrade, but like,
Probably not.
yeah, I think there's a real possibility, maybe not next offseason, but maybe the offseason after that. Devin Booker is going to become available via trade. But we have Jaden Ivey. Like, I don't know how realistic is Devin. I know we've talked about this before, but like realistically, how possible is it that he could actually become a Detroit Piston in, let's say, the next 2 or 3 years?
I don't see it. Not in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't see it happening. And then, I mean, I would love for it to happen, but I think he's gonna do. I think Devin Booker will play for the Pistons one day, but it's gonna be an out of prime Devin Booker. Sadly, I think he's just gonna come here just to say he played for home. Because I don't want to doubt. I do say he definitely wants to come home at some point. I definitely think he wants to be back, not in his hometown, but home area, whatnot. Like we always see him repping, like we just seen him yesterday repping the Tigers. We've seen him in Red Wings gear. He the day of your preseason game, you're at Ford Field, and then you have a game to be at in like an hour. Like that was crazy to me. But so I mean, I don't think he'll be here in the next 2 to 3, but here it might be like a Chris Webber situation. I remember Chris Webber came to the Pistons late in his career. He was pretty much washed up at that point, but I think he just wanted to come home. I think that's going to be Devin Booker.
I would take like a 35-year-old Devin Booker who's like a bucket off the bench, just like Jamal Crawford, like because
That would be
his shot's
nice.
never gonna go anywhere. It's just
Nah.
I guess like his athleticism and all that. But I mean, he's 26 years old. Cade Cunningham's 22 years old. Devin Booker is a much better fit next to Cade Cunningham than Jaden Ivey. And I mean, that's not saying a whole lot. I mean, Devin Booker is a much better player than Jaden Ivey. Is that going to be the case 5 years from now? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But I mean, man, him and Cade, like the shooter next to Cade, that's exactly what you want. And I'm not saying Jaden Ivey isn't a shooter, but
Right.
I don't like Jaden Ivey's not I wouldn't say he's a sharp shooter. Like Jaden Ivey feels like a guy who is gonna get the ball in his hands and drive to the basket and get a majority of his points that way. I don't think Jaden Ivey is gonna be known for his 3-point shot like Devin Booker is.
Probably not. I wouldn't put my money on that.
No, but I don't know. It's a fun conversation to have. I mean, some people are saying it's going to happen. I wouldn't go that far. And
Nah.
I think we're at the point where we don't need it to happen too. Like Cade and Ivey, Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey we're gonna be fine with those two. Like we don't need Devin Booker to come here and save this franchise.
I wouldn't be opposed to Devin Booker coming here soon. It's just I don't want to set my expectations too high because I don't want to get let down. But B, how realistic is it? I mean, to get Devin Booker. All right, so I mean, okay, free agency when his contract is up. What's the chances of him going to Detroit? Unless things just go completely terrible in Phoenix, what's the chances of him coming to Detroit? And then the second thing is, all right, let's say we trade for him. What are you going to give up? What trade pieces do we really have to get a Devin Booker?
So I would say Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, and picks.
I was going to say you're going to have to throw a whole lot of picks in there.
I mean,
Ivy's got to be in there.
Yeah. If I'm the Suns, I'm getting Ivy and Asar Thompson. I think that's a pretty good return, honestly. But yeah, definitely a couple first round picks, I would assume too.
Yeah, they going that you're gonna have to give up a lot, which Devin Booker deservingly, that's what it should be.